Hi everyone, before we begin, I'd love to acknowledge you for taking time out of your busy schedules, because the fact that you are here and learning means that you are committed to your own personal growth. Well done, cheers! And my name is Erica, and I am the co-founder of the EDVENTURE group of schools. I've also been a teacher for 12 years, and I'm currently the CEO of Studio E, and we're a multi-award winning company that creates educational games and comics for kids. Before we start, I'd like to share a story. And I was crying in front of my admin manager, and honestly I felt slightly embarrassed because it was in a public place, and also I didn't think that a group of 15-16-year-olds would get to me, but they did. And it was because no matter what I did, how fun I made classes for them, and we were known as a school for being able to do that, they didn't like studying, and they didn't want to have anything to do with it. So I was teaching them English, and I couldn't get them to write essays, and I couldn't get them to turn in their homework, and trying to do so was like pulling teeth with my bare fingers. Alright, now how many of you have been in a situation like that, where you've tried everything? Cajoling, making things fun, putting on costumes, even threatening them, but it doesn't work. At that point, I honestly felt like a failure. I wanted to give up being a teacher. And how many of us have been in that situation as teachers, where we were confronted with a class like that? But the thing is that luckily I didn't. If not today, I cannot share with you the tools that I discovered that helped me turn this lazy class into my most hardworking class. So let's get right into it. So the key truth here that we have to understand is that our kids, our students, don't owe us their attention. And you know, they live in this generation is surrounded by so many examples where you can achieve success in life without academic success. All right, and teachers, we also have another problem, which is the fact that technology is far more engaging than a human being standing in front of the class imparting knowledge to them, no matter how important this knowledge is. It's plain and simple. All right, so cheers, we have a tough job, all right, ahead of us. So I hope these tools will help you. Now, the other thing is that I need you to understand, in order to use these tools, you have to understand that learning is active, all right? And in our 25 years experience, we found this to be true. But the thing is that you need to nurture this behavior, especially in Asia, where being a good student means you sit down at a desk, listen to the teacher, hand in your homework, study, whatever. It's very passive, all right? And cheers, the other thing is that, and teachers, you have to remember that in order to bring fun and learning into the classroom, you have to make sure you create a safe environment. And what it means by safe is that, because in a textbook, if in an activity book, if you make a mistake, that mistake is personal to you, right? Whereas if you start making learning fun and interactive, it's scary and more confronting, because you know, your mistakes and your failures will be more public. However, it will be more powerful because your kids get to learn how to confront these difficult emotions. All right, so let's dive right into it. Tool number 1 is called Questify. And to questify something means, what it does is that it makes your lesson that's normally mundane and about math or whatever, right, more like fun, exciting, and almost like an adventure. And it's because you can actually give your kids a goal beyond just getting the A or beyond just an academic goal. Now, you probably understand it through an example, all right? When I was teaching year 8 geography, instead of starting my class like normal by teaching the content first, I march right in and I go, hey guys, we've got a problem. There's this town on a cliff. The cliff is being eaten by the ocean. And so if we don't do something, the town is going to fall in the ocean and people are going to die. And so the thing is that when I started teaching, after they did the activity, they solved the mission, and I taught them about coastal erosion, right? They were the most attentive I'd ever seen them because they had a chance to try and figure something out first. So it was quite fantastic. The next one is basically a treasure hunt. Now, just if you tried to implement this and it's failed on you, it's probably because what you're asking your students to look for is the answer that they can already find in the textbook. But what you could probably do is create clues so that it makes the answers more fun to find. And the other thing is that you could also create clues where more than one answer is correct. And what this does is that it allows them to exercise their creativity, which is a higher order thinking skill and a real world skill that they actually need. And well, you get the point, right? Now, tool number 2 is my favorite. It's called the Oprah Winfrey. You get a point. And well, being a gamer, growing up I played games, and also watching the video about gamification, I think it makes sense because in games, if you fail at a quest, right, you get this thing called experience points. And it's true, right? If we try to do something, we gain experience from the attempt. So why this is exciting is because progress from day to day, it doesn't seem like much, all right? And it makes the progress that is invisible visible to us. So watching this little bar fill up with points made me feel like I was like, yeah, I'm doing something, yo. And this is especially important because when we acquire human skills, we need to be consistent, all right? And in the book, The Slight Edge, right, this consistency, all right, it's hard to stick to it, even though it's simple, because the growth seems very stagnant until you hit a point where it becomes exponential. Now, for our kids, we need to, this gives them staying power to be able to hit the exponential growth. One of the ways to do it, grade backwards. If you have a 50-mark piece of work, break it down into 5 parts. Get them to earn the points instead of slashing it. That's what happened when I was in school. My teachers were like, oh, mistake here, -2. Ah, you spelled something wrongly, -1. All right, so demotivating. All right, now to level up grading backwards, you could also put the points into a skill tree. So for example, if you're teaching about the mole, right, you could break it down into their ability to understand ratio, which is a math concept, the ability to understand the differences between pressure and like mole and the number of molecules and stuff like that. So and their understanding of solving word problems. And so when you give them the marks, they level up, and that's what gets them so excited. When I implemented this, my class I was sharing with you earlier on, I had to brace myself because I would get stampedes of students coming at me. All right, scary because they're all bigger than me. Now, I only had 10 minutes with you, so what I'm sharing with you is honestly the tip of the iceberg, but these were the 2 things I asked myself, like, I figured that would really, really help you guys. Well, if you want further help, please connect with us on social media. We'll be more than happy to share with you what we know, okay? And the other thing is that we have a gift for you and your students. It's our science adventure comic called Peticle Planet. Please feel free to screenshot right now. It was an Amazon bestseller, and it in the categories of fantasy, action adventure, and study aids. Now, we've come to the end of the presentation, and I want to share with you, 4 years ago, I was catching up with an ex-student, and he told me, Teacher Erica, if it wasn't for Ace Adventure, I would be in jail right now. And I was like, shocked, because, well, the whole conversation escalated really quickly, right? And I asked him why. And he said, well, sure, because in my neighborhood, where I grew up, for teenage boys or for young boys, you get forced to join gangs. And it's not the gang where, in high school where if you leave, they beat you up, you get away with broken bones and, like, say, bruises, and that's it. This one, they kill you if you want to escape. All right? Now, I'm sharing this with you because some of you are probably wondering, is it really worth it? Because as a teacher, I've got so many things to do. This is like additional on top of it. Well, this is where this class is right now, okay? This slide is showing you that, all right? And the second thing is that as teachers, I also know there's a lot of pressure on us right now to prepare the kids for the real world. But what does that even mean? Because I know I was lucky. I helped my mom in her business at 9 years old, a business that she started up, English tuition, that taught us skills where if we decide to go to work in a corporate company, we would be, more than fine. We would stand out among everyone else, amongst our peers. And so we turned that and we started implementing that in a school. And for the past 25 years, we have seen amazing results. And the thing is that we don't take just the great students in. We take everyone in. And you can see 1 out of 5 of our students got straight A's and A stars last year. One in 5. This is the kind of results we produce. But we don't focus on exam results. We focus on human skills and the process of learning. I'm sharing this with you because it is very, very possible. We've done it for 25 years. And I hope that whatever we've shared with you allows you to make that positive impact that you wanted when you decided that you wanted to become a teacher. Thank you.